up? Welcome back.
Solid.
Yeah, I know, but hey guys, welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. It's Kiana Stewart, your host as always, and I am here with two very special guests. This is Sarah, and I forgot your name. Brennan.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
But I am happy that you guys are here with me today. And
Yeah.
in today's episode, we are going to be talking about none other than movies, which everybody loves movies. I know I am. And there are a lot of good movies out there that are coming out. One I am really excited about is Dune. It just came out on HBO Max a few days ago with Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
Yeah, I heard about it. I haven't seen it, or I don't know anything about it really, but
Yeah.
also he was in The French Dispatch, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, and
That
he-
also just came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I also know him from Call Me By Your Name. So.
Yes, yeah.
And, oh, go ahead.
I have neither heard of it nor seen it, so I will provide much input here.
It's okay.
Continue.
But basically what Dune is about, it's basically about a guy named Paul who is, basically trying to go to another planet, trying to save his whole family and friends. And it's pretty much like a whole sci-fi adventure movie. And for me,
awesome.
I love those type of movies. I mean, I love any movies in general, but when it comes to sci-fi, drama, not really soapy, but it has a lot of, on the terms of that genre, I love it. So anything with that, I'm really excited about it. So
Yeah, well, that sounds awesome. I think that's a very different genre than what The French Dispatch is. I'm pretty sure it's a drama, it's a Wes Anderson movie. So
do you know what that movie's about?
I really don't.
Wait, let me see. The French Dispatch?
Yeah, it has also Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton. I think that's her name.
Wait, let me see. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A love
it looks good.
Yeah, a
I
love
mean-
letter to journalists set out in an outpost in an American newspaper in a fictional 20th century. Okay, excuse me. My voice cracked for a second. But yeah, I'm really excited for Dune. But and to refer back to the French Dispatch, you said it was drama, but is there what kind of genre it is besides drama?
I believe possibly romance, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
It's I love Wes Anderson movies. They have a very certain vibe and aesthetic to them that I just find very pleasing.
Is that the director, Stupid
Yes,
Fly?
yeah, directed by Wes Anderson.
Oh, okay.
He's done other things like The Grand Budapest Hotel, and the Fantastic Mr. Fox, those kinds of movies that have just
Okay.
a very chill vibe.
Yeah, I can deal with those type of movies. You can just, especially now that it's officially fall weather, finally
Yes.
it's chilly, coming from a long day, put on a great movie that's really chill with hot cocoa or apple cider, nice blanket. I'm glad that those days are back. Whew.
Even during the previous winter, it didn't feel like you could really do that. There was no long days. It was all the same thing.
Right.
What makes you say that?
Everything. Well, the pandemic. At least for me, I don't know how.
Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
It was constant movies. Movies were the long days.
I mean, you couldn't do anything else besides watch movies.
I'm trying to watch more movies this fall, try to cozy up.
Yeah, me too. I should have did that during the pandemic because I honestly thought that this COVID thing was going to be done and over with, but obviously we're still living in it. And I think I'm more of a TV show kind of girl rather than watching movies because for me, watching movies, I tend to fall asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't really want to because I know there's going to be some family members of mine who will want to watch a movie, and then for me, I have to have the willpower to not quote the lines off of movies whenever I watch a movie for the first time, and then when I watch it back the second time, I would want to learn the lines and the speaking parts of all the movies. My family, that's why I say don't ever want to watch movies with me because I will quote the lines off the movies. It's a bad habit, but that's how I've really gotten to become an actress in my own right while watching these movies and learning the stories and everything. So it helps, but at the same time, it can be annoying to my friends and family. I'm trying to get over that habit, but
Yeah.
no promises.
Old habits die hard. That's for sure.
I know. It's been instilled in me since 6th grade, so that habit's just not going to go away overnight.
Okay, so just in 6th grade watching, I don't know what you watched in 6th grade, but you just like listing off the quotes when they came up. Okay, just thought I should check.
Even TV shows, I do that too. So,
TV shows are even harder because they're so much longer. I mean, like.
I mean, if you've watched it a couple times and you're interested in the plot, that's
Right.
different. But then, like, if it's something that you're not interested in, then that's different. So, but any movie you're excited to see?
No movie I'm excited to see, but definitely there are some movies that are pretty good that I've already seen. They came out recently. I mean, like, I don't know if either of you watch Marvel movies at all, do you?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but occasionally I walk up to someone on like a side, like walk up to someone and I'm like talking about a Marvel movie and they're like, I've never heard that before. I'm like, you've never heard this before. It's Iron
Really?
Man. I don't know how you've never, I'm talking about Iron Man 1. You've never heard of this before?
He's
If anybody were
everywhere.
to ever say that to me in person, like, I'd be personally hurt. I'm like, really? You've really been living under a rock. And I don't just mean like pop culture. You've literally been living under a rock.
I didn't know how to exactly react because his next follow-up question was naturally, is that the one with Thanos in it? And I'm like, I'm not sure exactly if you're serious right now or if you just don't know who Thanos is.
Oh my
Because,
God.
we're at an impasse here. Can I please talk to my friends again? I did not know this person. He inserted himself into the conversation. That
Really?
was a good time. But
I've
either
met
way-
people like that.
Either way, Shang-Chi. Have either of you watched it?
No,
Not.
I haven't.
Please, no spoilers.
Yeah,
I'm not
please.
going to, but the cinematography of it, pretty good. I do have
Yeah.
to say it's very impressive. And I won't get into any specifics of it. So, segueing into the next movie solidly, it's a disappointing one. Let's just like shift
A
into,
disappointing one.
Let's just shift right into, I don't know, Infinity War and Endgame because those are very popular.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and just disclaimer:
So-
we talk about a lot of Marvel on here, so like, so it's not too far fetched. So
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. Either way, I don't know. Both those movies, they're, back to back. Well, back to back as a full year can be, but
Yeah.
they kind of like changed the entire dynamic that movies like that are going to operate because they're like, okay, so we've done something that can change the entire universe. How are we gonna change that? Like, how are we gonna go bigger than that? Because now people are gonna be disappointed when it's just the galaxy. Oh, such a surprise. We can just go to the next one. Like,
So you're talking about how those two movies shaped like the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Or?
and movies in general. I mean, like, imagine how disappointing it is for, oh no, New York is in danger again. New York was just blasted off the face of the earth. Like,
New York has a soft spot for me, so.
let's move on to Chicago. I don't know, because if Chicago is just blasted off the face of the earth, I mean, yeah, it's like what? I don't know, it's 4.5 million people. Very sad indeed, but I mean, Chicago can go. We could, like, that's fine. It's just Chicago.
I don't know about that, but
It's alright. It's only Chicago.
I love Chicago.
What city do you not like? I will find one.
Man, you're really you're serious, like.
Gary, Indiana.
Okay,
Okay,
that.
well,
See, okay.
but it's Gary.
well, I really can't say that. I'm sorry, John. I love you, but my stepdad, who you just heard my dad's name, he's from Gary, Indiana. So I can't jump off the bandwagon that fast, even though I've been there multiple times. So I don't really want to badmouth my stepdad's hometown.
There is not a single place that you just dislike. Okay, so we're just gonna do New York. 'Cause
Just change it to
imagine-
Muncie.
I mean, you can't badmouth New York in a way that's gonna make me have a bad taste about it. So.
All right, so New York, right? If it's just gone now, like, I don't know, some crazy. Let's try and get as original as possible here. Some crazy green monster came down from the space above and calling himself Thonbus with crazy colorful stones
Oh boy.
that he calls the finite rings. And he puts them on his fingers, and then he claps his hands, and like New York's gone now. How would you feel about that? Because it's.
I'm
so
actually
disappointing.
imagining like that as a parody for like a Marvel movie. I just started imagining that in my head. I'm like, I don't know how that would pan out, but it could either be a good or a fail. So
think that'd be a great parody.
But speaking of Marvel, there are going to be like a whole list of Marvel movies coming out. But I just heard that some movies are actually they had to be delayed.
Yeah, I
again.
heard that. Like they were supposed to come out this year or next, and now they're being pushed back.
At this point, I'm not surprised. If something doesn't get delayed, I'd be more surprised.
Yeah,
If
I
something
mean,
is
I
delayed,
wasn't-
I'm like,
I wasn't surprised by it, but then like I was just like, hey, as long as they don't delay Spider-Man, because I've waited too long for that. But they did. I think.
I was like, they're gonna delay Spider-Man. They're gonna cancel it. Like,
I really hope they don't, because I've waited too long for that. Ever since Endgame, I was like, let the next Spider-Man movie come out. Because ever since I saw him die in Endgame, I was so sad. And then when he came back to life, I was like, oh, thank God, you can't get rid of my Spidey that quick.
yeah, he has plot armor. He can't die. He's fine.
Yeah. But then Tony died.
His contract ran out. So
I mean, I know, but like, hey, you never know. Maybe some could come back, even though I kind of think that, I mean, I'm not sure if Chris Evans would be open to come back as Captain America. And, you know, it's the same thing with Robert Downey Jr., who plays Iron Man. He said that he would come back, but then at the same time he doesn't want to because he's played the same role for 10 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's the same thing with Chris. So I'm just not sure, but I'm hoping Captain America would come back because I also love him too. He's like, above Spider-Man, he's my second favorite.
okay.
And then Tony's third.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I would agree.
What were you gonna say? Who's your favorite?
No, I was agreeing with you. I never thought about it, so I had to spend a solid 2 seconds.
Oh, because you stopped for a second. I was like, uh-oh, you about to fight me. Now, who are you going to say is your favorite?
I got
Who's your favorite, though?
I would definitely say Wanda.
Okay.
Just, I don't know. I loved WandaVision, and like from the past movies, it's just like I don't know. I don't know what it is about her.
Okay. Did any of you guys see WandaVision?
yes.
Yes.
If you said no, I was gonna be mad.
No,
I thought you were pointing at me for a second. I was like, oh, I watched it.
I
Don't point
binge
at me.
watched it, and it was amazing. I waited until like most of the episodes had come out, you know, and then I waited for like the last couple, you know.
Respectable.
Yeah. It was so good though, and I think I cried.
Aw.
It's been a minute. I need to rewatch them though.
Yeah, the thing is, when it came to like those like Marvel series come out, I don't know if I watched them in chronological order based on like how Endgame ended and then all these series were coming out. Because I watched WandaVision first, and then I watched what is it again? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier
Yeah.
next. And then I was wondering what came next
Loki.
after that.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched Loki, so
You need to. But
okay.
either way. Oh no. Okay. So have you seen all 3 of them?
So I watched all of WandaVision, and then I watched a little bit of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I didn't get too far in it just because I don't know. I started it like, you know, almost after I finished WandaVision, and I was just kind of, since Wanda's my favorite character, I was just kind of missing that, and I really liked the way that show went, and so I didn't continue it. I need to. I've been meaning to finish it, but
It's fine if you don't.
Yeah, but the sad thing about these Marvel movies is that they're not either coming back for a second season or anything, which kind of sucks. But I think the reason why they're not choosing to do a second season with some of these shows is because I guess they want to keep like, you know, stage 4 or whatever stage we're in right now of the Marvel Cinematic Universe on track, and like, you know, the stories don't get mixed up. So that's just what I thought. But I definitely think WandaVision should get a second season because it was really good.
It makes sense because it's kind of like they're basically movies, but you can do more with them.
Yeah.
And that's all they pretty much are. They're like, I never thought of them as seasons. It was more just like, that is one movie
Yeah.
that you are watching for 10 hours. And then you got to go to the next one. And then if a second season comes out, it's like, where does this... Because you can't watch those 2 back to back because they'd be like years apart.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That I can
So,
see.
like, I don't think they could do that. They'd have to make a whole different show and say this is the sequel of the previous
Right.
one. That, like, this has the same characters, but they aren't the same thing.
Yeah, and on top of that, I have a feeling that, you know, these stars who play these superheroes, they played them for so long. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they think when they're playing these roles, but sometimes I think that they either don't want to continue on with their characters because they've played them for so long on the screen, or they just feel like this character doesn't really have much to come back from after,
Right.
Endgame, or like, there's not really much to go on with the characters.
Right, there's nowhere to go with them, and like, I
Yeah.
get that.
And like, if they were to like, say, oh, Wanda and Vision got, had babies, like, that wouldn't make sense, I feel like. It's just something putting it out
Well,
there. Like,
isn't there like a show called What If that like, goes through different
Yes.
things, like, how the comics had different versions of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen much about that. I don't even know if it is on Disney Plus or.
It is.
Okay, I haven't watched any of it, but yeah.
Pretty good. Would recommend it.
Okay,
yeah.
for sure.
And then there's Eternals that's coming out, which I'm really excited about to see.
I didn't hear about that. I don't really know what that would be about. I think I vaguely heard about it.
Hold on.
On Disney's various ads that they have on their paid subscription service, but
I mean, Disney knows how to make anything big, so. And now that Marvel is now owned by Disney, like, there you go. So it's basically about a race of immoral beings with superhuman powers who have secretly lived on Earth for thousands of years, and they're reunited to battle the evil deviants.
Okay.
I don't know what those are, but the plot sounds interesting. I just thought, like, for me, it was about, like, young superheroes. Like, just, like, it's like a new version of superheroes that aren't Iron Man or Captain America or Thor. Like, it's a new, like, set of superheroes that are young, and they're, trying to find their mark on their powers, trying to figure it out, and then they fight the deviants. That's just what I thought, even though I still have to look more into it, but that's just what I think it's about, and I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
it sounds exciting, but it does follow what I like to call the Marvel Cinematic Formula
Yeah.
quite closely. If you don't know what it is, it's basically
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Marvel, but I'm not that big of a fan, so.
it's less of it's more of a complaint, you could say.
Oh, okay.
It follows this great formula where it's superhero exists, supervillain with powers of superhero also exists. They battle it out. Superhero wins.
I feel like that's almost any superhero movie.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's very
regardless if
similar,
if it's Marvel or DC,
I mean, it's like it's the superhero formula.
Yes.
I'm not mad about it because it works. So, but it's still there, and you can almost predict it. Like those deviants, guarantee they
course.
have the same power as these Eternals do, but they just happen to be evil. So, but also since Marvel did this whole thing where they're like the whole overarching universe, they can sort of do those mini things where you can watch that one movie and then ties into everything else at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be, like, some movies where they try to, like, write something and it really doesn't make sense, but then after watching it, you kind of think, that kind of makes sense, but then at the same time, you're thinking, I don't think that makes sense, but it works. So that's been, like, some of the case for some movies that I've seen, because, like, there's one movie in particular that I don't remember the name of it. I was watching it and I was like, okay, that's weird, and it really doesn't make sense, but it works. And like towards the end of the film while I was watching it, I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Like, I don't even remember what movie it was. It was either a horror movie that I watched or some sort of like rom-com movie. I don't know what, but
I've had that happen to me with like a couple of movies, like in the horror genre, Hereditary, like.
Which is perfect for Halloween, by the way.
Yes. I had to watch it a couple of times to understand like really what was going on, especially towards the ending.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the movie now. It was called Raising Elizabeth.
I have not seen that.
It's
Not seen it either.
yeah, it's kind of like an independent movie, and I was just watching it because I was at this girl's house and I was getting my hair braided, and I was watching it. It's basically about a husband who marries a woman, and the woman goes down to his basement, and it turns out he has a clone of his wife, and then if she were to ever find out about it, he would kill her, and then the next day he would go down to the basement, put in a passcode, and then that clone would come to life, and then he would end up remarrying the same girl.
Wow.
It was so bizarre, and then the next thing you know it, when one of the clones actually tried to kill him, with the husband tried to chloroform the wife, and then she pretended to be dead, and then the next thing you know, she went like boom, like, and stabbed him. I was like, woo! But then the next thing you know, the whole plot just kind of got real confusing because the clone is alive, but then like her husband's servant was trying to, like, you know, get a bigger had a bigger plan in mind, which I still to this day, after watching it so many times, I don't know what it was. Like, was he trying to escape? Was he trying to, like, you know, do something with the clone? Was he possibly falling in love with her? Like, I don't know. It was interesting to watch, but it was still so confusing.
Yeah, I am confused just listening to the summary of
Yeah.
the entire movie. So this entire plan of him having this clone is purely based on the fact that if she were to find out that he has a clone, then he would replace her with said clone. So he can just erase this whole problem by not having the clone.
I know, it's so weird. Like, it's like, and he fights her, and then he tries to kill her, and then the next thing you know, it like he ends up killing her, and then he opens, like, you know, like a scientific box just to have the clone that looks like his wife. It's so random.
It sounds interesting, and I want to check it out, but like also very confusing. What was it called again?
Raising Elizabeth.
Okay.
It's an independent film, so
Yeah.
Hold on. Raising Elizabeth. I mean, I pretty much had nothing to do because this girl was braiding my hair, so I had to watch it.
Yeah.
And then, like, after, like, 5 minutes in, I was hooked.
Like, what goes through your mind to be like, hold on, I need to make this clone in case.
Oh, it's Harvesting Elizabeth. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Even weirder name. Okay.
I know. There we go.
Elizabeth. No.
Yeah, so newly married Elizabeth travels with her husband to go to his vast, luxurious estate. He explains that she can go anywhere she pleases except for one locked forbidden room, which is the room where he has all the clones of her.
That's the place I'm checking first.
I know.
You can go
But then,
anywhere
like,
but
if
this room right here.
yeah, but if you were to go in there and he saw you, he would try to kill you.
Well, that would just prove it quite handily. This seems
That
like
just
a
seems
problem.
more like
Yeah, that's like, okay, hold on. So I'm going to create a clone. In case that my wife sees this clone and gets mad about it, I'm going to kill her and replace her with this clone that I made just in case that she sees it. But just to, you know, put the last nail in the coffin to make sure that this plan fully works out, I'm going to explicitly tell her to not go into this room.
seems kind of
Instead
suspicious.
of just like locking the door like a normal person.
Yeah.
If you just lock the door and they're like, it's locked, that's whatever.
Yeah.
I'll ask about it later.
Yeah, and then it has me thinking, is this woman not smart enough to know when this man says, oh, honey, you can go in any room you want, except for one room downstairs. Now, doesn't that sound sketchy? And then you go down there, he sees you, and then you end up being killed by your husband. Like, have street smarts. Like, that was my question. Like, come on,
First red
girl, you're
flag.
better than that.
Yeah, that's a solid red flag. Number one is if someone tells you, hey, listen, you can go into any room in this house.
Except this one.
Exactly.
Go in there.
Exactly, but like that.
Hiding.
Yeah, but that's definitely a movie that really confuses me still to this day. But like, if you guys end up watching it, or like if you guys want to, it's up to you. But oh my god.
I don't think I will ever. How long is it?
It's,
an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that was like the weirdest hour and 45 minutes of my life watching that movie because it was so bizarre. Like,
Wait,
what?
is he the husband?
Yes.
He's like 55. She's like 26.
Well, I don't know. It's weird, but
I guess he's rich, but like also
he is rich.
Yeah, but like.
But then, like, I would just say, like, when it came to, like, the second clone that he had opened and then he just remarried her and everything like that, he didn't tell her, he didn't tell that second clone the first time around that she can go in any room she wanted. So she just went downstairs willy-nilly. And then, he was saying some sort of like evil stuff to her, and then like he grabbed some chloroform and a rag. He tried to chloroform her, and like, you know, he was chasing her around. He was playing like classical music, trying to fake her out, thinking that he was in the other room playing the piano when really he was in the kitchen while she was in the kitchen. And then he got behind her, put the rag over her face, and then like, you know, boom. Like,
What? Well, so he played music, classical piano music, so she could think that he was in the other room when he is in the same room.
yes.
You didn't see him?
No, because
okay.
he was hidden somewhere, maybe behind like a counter or like, you know, like in a closet. I don't know, but
like, you would know it. Who is like chasing you down to kill you and is like, hold on, there's a piano right here.
But then the first thing I want to know, this man got problems. First of all, like, you know, why are you trying to make all these clones of your wife? Like, did you go through something traumatic? Like, what the heck? But I don't know. But
It's rich people problems.
right,
Does he
right.
have the door locked?
Probably not. But
so we don't know. They just enter the room somehow.
it's a weird plot to say the least. But unfortunately, we are out of time. But I really want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for bearing with me through that really weird plot. Like, ooh, Harving Elizabeth, go check it out. Not really,
Please
but
do. It's a great movie. I
but
can tell.
yeah, but thank you guys so much for joining into this week's episode. And as always, we will see you guys next week. You guys stay safe, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.